Alright. Well, of course, we must not forget to do the lens workflow, because we are working with the lens distortion in our scene, so we have to apply that to the images. Let me first set back that floating play bar, and then come here, lens workflow, and because I don't want to redistort the CGI in the end, I choose the undistorted lens workflow, so hit OK. Now this lens distortion has been applied to that sequence. And of course we need to save these images before we can work with them in our 3D application. Okay, we have been already using that Save Sequence button down there, but we could also use the image preprocessor for that. So let's hit P to bring up that menu, and we can now go ahead and save sequence. It's just the same button here. And I also want to do that. So press that and then go to your folder. So footage, new, undist 1080p. Great. GGA 0001. Save, RGB included of course, and then hit start. But because we are working with HD footage here, I know that my 3D application would get very slow if I load that sequence into the viewport to be able to put my 3D objects in there. So I want to have a proxy sequence which is much smaller that I can use in my viewport just for reference. And you can very easily do that with SynthEyes just by enabling output resampling. So activate that. And of course, because all of the images that you are creating with the image preprocessor will be used in the tracking window back there. So it will be flushed from the cache, and that's perfectly fine. So hit OK. And we have to adjust the width and height and the image aspect, and I want to use 1080 for the X, 1280 excuse me, and 720. I have to reset the image aspect, the pixel aspect ratio. I can do that by using that preset here. Again, these will be flushed from cache. Now I can see it's filling up that frame perfectly, so everything's fine. Now I want to save the sequence in a new folder, which is undist 720p. Create, and then also maybe use a different name like proxy underscore 0001. And because we don't have to use uncompressed and high quality file format for that, I just want to use JPEG because it's much smaller and loads faster. Compression settings 85, or maybe reduce that even more to, I don't know, that. Okay, RGB included of course. Start. And now I have two sequences, one the proxy and one the original file, and that is great because we can use the original files for compositing, but for the viewport we have that proxy sequence. And when you hit OK, that will close that menu.